This Bangus Belly Adobo sa Gata should be illegal. Rich, creamy, dangerously good, and most importantly, easy to make. Just make sure you cook enough rice because this dish will keep you coming back for more. For this, we're keeping it simple. Bangus belly, classic adobo staples, and coconut cream to finish it off. As always, the full ingredient list and costing is at the end of the video. Alright, let's start. For this recipe, I'll be using 350 grams of boneless bangus belly. I'm using bangus belly because it has more fat and flavor, but you can definitely use a whole boneless bangus if that's what you have. Just make sure it's boneless. Deboning it while eating can be a bit of a hassle. Slice your bangus into serving-sized pieces. Make sure everything is about the same size so they cook at the same rate. After slicing, it's time to marinate the bangus. Pour in about 1.5 tablespoons of calamansi juice. Calamansi adds a bit of acidity to brighten the flavor and freshen the fish. Next, sprinkle in some salt, about 1/2 teaspoon or to taste. Then, add a few cracks of freshly ground black pepper, around 1/4 teaspoon or to taste. Give everything a good mix and marinate the fish for about 10 to 15 minutes. While the fish is marinating, let's prepare the aromatics. Mince around 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. Remove the root end, then lightly smash the garlic. This makes the skin much easier to peel. Try to keep the mince even so it cooks evenly. After mincing, set it aside. Next, slice around 2 small red onions, roughly 43 grams. If you don't have red onions, you can also use yellow or white onions. Shallots and spring onions also work well. Slice them evenly, not too thick, so they soften nicely in the sauce. Then, set aside. Next, chop around 4 to 5 pieces of siling haba. I'm using a mix of red and green chilies to make the dish more visually appetizing. If you want more heat, you can swap these out for Thai red chilies or siling labuyo. Once chopped, set it aside. Alright, time to cook. Heat a pan over medium heat, then add a small amount of cooking oil, just enough to coat the surface. Let the oil heat up properly before adding anything. By this time, the fish should be done marinating. In a separate plate or container, add about 1/2 cup of cornstarch or corn flour, or just enough to lightly coat the fish. Dredge the fish in cornstarch, then fry it in the hot oil. Make sure to coat it evenly. This helps absorb excess moisture and reduces oil splatter when frying fish, especially bangus. Fry in batches and don't overcrowd the pan. Once the fish is golden and crisp, flip and fry the other side. This should take about 2 to 3 minutes per side, depending on thickness. Once the first batch is done cooking, transfer it in a separate plate. Repeat the process with the remaining pieces. Once everything is done, set it aside. We'll bring it back later. Pour off the excess oil, leaving just a thin layer. Then, add the aromatics. Start with the garlic and let it cook just until fragrant. You don't want it to brown too much. Once the garlic is fragrant, add the onions. Cook for a few minutes, just until they soften and turn translucent. Next, add around 250 ml of coconut cream or coconut milk if that's what you have. You can also use fresh gata if it's available. It's less processed and more flavorful. Next, add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Then add an additional tablespoon of oyster sauce for an extra umami boost. Give it a good mix. Then add 2 teaspoons of coconut vinegar to balance the sauce. You can also use regular white vinegar if that's what you have. Add freshly ground black pepper to taste, or around 1/4 teaspoon. Once everything is in, lower the heat and let the sauce gently simmer for a couple of minutes. After that, give it a gentle mix, then add the fried fish back in. Carefully coat the fish in the sauce, making sure everything is well covered. Using a silicone spatula for this step helps keep the fish from breaking apart. Next, add the chilies. Make sure to save some for garnish later. This part is optional, but I like to add a bit of sugar, about 1 to 2 teaspoons. The sugar helps balance the saltiness and acidity. It won't make the dish sweet. Reduce the sauce on low heat until it thickens, and we're ready to serve. Carefully transfer the bangus onto a serving plate, and don't forget, the full list of ingredients with their approximate cost will be shown at the end of the video. If you want to skip straight to that, the timestamp is already in the description. Garnish the bangus with the chilies we saved earlier. This would be even better with some fried crispy garlic, but we didn't have any when we filmed this. If you have some on hand, make sure to add it. It really elevates an already tasty dish. Like most Pinoy dishes, this pairs best with a steaming cup of rice. What makes this feel illegal is that you'll probably eat more than you planned. So have your rice cooker ready, just in case. Time to taste. The bangus is tender with a light crisp on the outside, and the sauce is creamy without being too heavy. You get that familiar adobo flavor at first, then the coconut rounds everything out. The spice is there, but it's gentle. It builds slowly and doesn't overpower the dish. Overall, it's a really well-balanced dish. Really good. If you haven't already, you should definitely give this recipe a try. Here's the full list of ingredients I used, along with their approximate cost. You can pause the video right now or take a screenshot so you can have it for later. Before we wrap up, a quick shout out to Sir Larry E828 for this comment. I really appreciate you for taking the time to leave some feedback. Thank you, sir, for the support. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about this Bangus Belly Adobo sa Gata recipe or how it turned out for you. Subscribe for more easy Filipino recipes, and if you're interested in another easy recipe, click the link on your screen right now. Thank you for cooking with me, and I'll see you in the next one.